A.D. 1400 by Charles Kingsley. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. A.D. 1400. 1. It was Earl Haldan's daughter. She looked across the sea. She looked across the water, and long and loud laughed she. The locks of 6 princesses must be my marriage fee. So hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, who comes a wooing me? 2. It was Earl Haldan's daughter. She walked along the sand, when she was aware of a knight so fair come sailing to the land. His sails were all of velvet, his mast of beaten gold. And hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, who saileth here so bold? 3. The locks of 5 princesses I won beyond the sea. I shore their golden tresses to fringe a cloak for thee. 1 handful yet is wanting, but 1 of all the tale. So hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, furl up thy velvet sail. 4. He leapt into the water, that rover young and bold. He gripped Earl Haldan's daughter, he shore her locks of gold. Go weep, proud maiden, the tale is full to-day. Now hey bonny boat, and ho bonny boat, sail westward ho, and away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Advice to a Young Poet by Crockett McElroy. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Peter. First think of something good to say, then take great pains to say it well. Make sure you know the proper way to fairly write and rightly spell. Now clear all matter from your mind, except the work you have in hand, and study hard until you find good rhyming words at your command. Compose 1 verse from end to end, with equal feet in every line. See that the words and meter blend, and that the rhyme is true and fine. Beware of mistakes when you write. Never say what needs correction, then men will say what you indite is poetry in perfection. Don't mix grand thoughts with silly ones, nor call men by improper names. If things weigh pounds, don't call them tons, nor make the world appear in flames. Remember you're an honest youth, and never write what is not true. Be governed by the laws of truth in everything you say or do. In language manly and refined, praise in song the heavenly plan, and use the lowers of your mind in lifting up your fellow man. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Farewell by Anne Reeve Aldrich. Read for LibriVox.org by Colleen McMahon. What is the thing I most regret, since now our love is over, and I have ceased adoring you, and you're no more the lover? I most regret the hours apart we might have spent together. I grudge the happiness we lost before this change of weather. Why were we not more happy then, those fleeting days improving? Because we dreamed when age crept on, it still would find us loving. The present seems so sure to last, we never thought to prize her. Ah, well, I think next time we love, my dear, we'll each be wiser. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
America for Me by Henry Van Dyke. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Daniel N. Hixson. 'Tis fine to see the old world and travel up and down among the famous palaces and cities of renown, to admire the crumbling castles and the statues and kings, but now I think I've had enough of antiquated things. So it's home again and home again, America for me. My heart is turning home again, and there I long to be, in the land of youth and freedom, beyond the ocean bars, where the air is full of sunlight, and the flag is full of stars. Oh, London is a man's town, there's power in the air, and Paris is a woman's town, with flowers in her hair. And it's sweet to dream in Venice, and it's great to study Rome, but when it comes to living, there is no place like home. I like the German fir-woods in green battalions drilled. I like the gardens of Versailles with flashing fountains filled. But oh, to take your hand, my dear, and ramble for a day in the friendly western woodland where nature has her sway. I know that Europe's wonderful, yet something seems to lack. The Paris is too much with her, and people looking back. But the glory of the present is to make the future free. We love our land for what she is and what she is to be. Oh, it's home again and home again, America for me. I want a ship that's westward bound to plow the rolling sea, to the blessed land of room enough beyond the ocean bars, where the air is full of sunlight and the flag is full of stars. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Angler by Thomas Buchanan Reed. Read for LibriVox.org by Daniel N. Hixson. But look, o'er the fall see the angler stand, swinging his rod with skillful hand. The fly at the end of his gossamer line swims through the sun like a summer moth, till, dropped with a careful precision fine, it touches the pool beyond the froth. A sudden, the speckled hawk of the brook darts from his cover and seizes the hook. Swift spins the reel, with easy slip the line pays out, and the rod like a whip, lithe and arrowy, tapering, slim, is bent to a bow o'er the brooklet's brim, till the trout leaps up in the sun and flings the spray from the flash of his finny wings, then falls on his side, and drunken with fright, is towed to the shore like a staggering barge, till beached at last on the sandy marge, where he dies with the hues of the morning light, while his sides with a cluster of stars are bright. The angler in his basket lays the constellation and goes his ways. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
As Toilsome I Wander'd by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. As toilsome I wandered Virginia's woods, to the music of rustling leaves kicked by my feet, for 'twas autumn, I marked at the foot of a tree the grave of a soldier, mortally wounded he, and buried on the retreat. Easily all could I understand. The halt of a midday hour, when up, no time to lose, yet this sign left, on a tablet scrawled and nailed on the tree by the grave: bold, cautious, true, and my loving comrade. Long, long I mused, then on my way go wandering, many a changeful season to follow, and many a scene of life. Yet at times, through changeful season and scene, abrupt, alone, or in the crowded street, comes before me the unknown soldier's grave, comes the inscription rude in Virginia's woods: bold, cautious, true, and my loving comrade. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Ballad of Slumber by Anne Reeve Aldrich. Read for LibriVox.org by Colleen McMahon. The first sleep that my love slept he had upon the grass, stretched low beneath my casement pane until the night should pass. I leaned forth and looked down on him at mid-watch of the night. Upon his hair, all drenched with dew, a waning moon shone white. The second sleep my love slept, his head was on my breast. I grieved the hour must pass, so fain was I to watch his rest. I bent and kissed his listless lips, curled redly half apart. So heavy lies thy head, my love, 'tis like to crush my heart. The last sleep that my love slept shall last till judgment day, in corner of the lit yard close, 'neath drooping boughs of May. Another sleeps upon my breast. My dead love does not care. He could not feel my kisses now, nor dew that drenched his hair. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Beautiful Young Nymph Going to Bed by Jonathan Swift. Written for the honor of the fair sex, 1731. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Copeland. Corinna, pride of Drury Lane, for whom no shepherd sighs in vain, never did Covent Garden boast so bright a battered strolling toast. No drunken rake to pick her up, no cellar whereon tick to sup, returning at the midnight hour, 4 stories climbing to her bower. Then, seated on the 3-legged chair, takes off her artificial hair. Now picking out a crystal eye, she wipes it clean and lays it by. Her eyebrows, from a mouse's hide, stuck on with art on either side, pulls off with care, and first displays 'em, then in a playbook smoothly lays 'em. Now dexterously her plumpers draws, that serve to fill her hollow jaws, untwists a wire, and from her gums a set of teeth completely comes. Pulls out the rags, contrived to prop her flabby dugs, and down they drop. Proceeding on, the lovely goddess unlaces next her steel-ribbed bodice, which, by the operator's skill, press down the lumps, the hollows fill. Up goes her hand, and off she slips the bolsters that supply her hips. With gentlest touch she next explores her cankers, issues, running sores, effects of many a sad disaster, and then to each applies a plaster, but must, before she goes to bed, rub off the daubs of white and red, and smooth the furrows in her front with greasy paper stuck upon. She takes a bolus ere she sleeps, and then between 2 blankets creeps. With pains of love tormented lies, or, if she chance to close her eyes, a bridewell and the compter dreams, and feels the lash, and faintly screams, or, by a faithless bully drawn, at some hedge tavern lies in pawn, or to Jamaica seems transported, alone, and by no planter courted. Or near fleet ditches' oozy brinks, surrounded with 100 stinks, belated, seems on watch to lie, and snaps some cully passing by. Or struck with fear, her fancy runs on watchmen, constables, and duns, from whom she meets with frequent rubs, but never from religious clubs, whose favour she is sure to find, because she pays them all in kind. Corinna wakes. A dreadful sight! Behold the ruins of the night! A wicked rat her plaster stole, half ate, and dragged it to his hole. The crystal eye, alas, was missed, and puss had on her plumpers pissed. A pigeon picked her issue peas, and shock her tresses filled with fleas. The nymph, though in this mangled plight, must every morn her limbs unite. But how shall I describe her arts to recollect the scattered parts, or show the anguish, toil, and pain of gathering up herself again? The bashful muse will never bear in such a scene to interfere. Corinna, in the morning dizened, who sees will spew, who smells be poisoned. End of poem. This poem is in the public domain.
El Beso by Angela W. Grimke. Read for LibriVox.org by Mike Overby, Midland, Washington. Twilight, and you. Quiet, the stars. Snare of the shine of your teeth, your provocative laughter, the gloom of your hair. Lure of you, eye and lip, yearning, yearning, languor, surrender. Your mouth and madness, tremulous, breathless, flaming. The space of a sigh, then awakening, remembrance, pain, regret, your sobbing, and again, quiet, the stars, twilight, and you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Blushing Rose by Ellen Russell Emerson. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Peter. A Legend. There was a stir among the roses, one dewy morn in June. 'Twas where the south wind air reposes, and sings a soothing tune through the summer day. There was a whir and hum and sighing, unusual in their rank. One damask rose, their scorn defying, in some disgraceful prank, wed a foreign flower. A crime so great in rose empire, that capital punishment was judged to such a law defier, and death or banishment was the sentence given. The rose had stood apart from others, and reared its crest so grand, in flaming colours, that his brothers grew jealous of his stand, while they jeered at him. 'Twas true the rose was rather dashing, and scarce was known to bend, when rain and wind and fury lashing the bumbler flowers would send whirling to the ground. But he was generous oft, and lavished his fragrance everywhere, until the air would wait enravished to wreathe within its hair sweets so careless strewn. One love-lit morn the rose was quaffing from Oberon's cup of dew, while in the east a star stood laughing and shaking as he knew what the goblet was. When sudden, as he sat there sipping, a little voice called out from neighbouring thicket, "I am dipping my lip where naiads pout. Will I not be sweet?" Now such a question should have answer, bethought the stately rose, for prince or noble, knight or lancer, his heart would never close to voice like that. And then with one of his green branches he makes a cleaving sweep, on either side swift blows he launches, then takes a hurried peep where the thicket breaks. And down within the covert smiling there stood a snowy rose, and bright she looked as though beguiling the shade its wings to close. 'Twas the lily rose, and very fair, and so was thinking the rosy damask rose, and while he stood abashed and blinking, and dreaming what he knows, damask rose should not. A dastard hummingbird came winging through opening he had clove, with swagger and dare-do singing, as though now he might rove just where he might list. And with a soft, complacent twirling around the fairy rose, he sought by hum and subtle whirling to dazzle the one he chose. There's wherein he erred. The angry damask rose could not bear this, and with a plunge he thrust the bird with thorny poniard. "Wear this," cried he, "until it rust, thievish hummingbird." The little snowy rose, all trembling at such a murderous sight, thus coyly thought she was dissembling some other thought by fright. Love would fain disguise. "'Tis sad to see thee tremble, Rosie, 'tis sad, sweet love of mine." Shy dimples chased the grief of Rosie, while spoke this rose so fine. Oh, 'twas wicked quite. Then damask rose bethought of going, and yet he waited still. A sudden wind, the white rose blowing, did seem to serve his will. Ay, she was so sweet. Then was a stir among the roses, and he was ostracized, while now their soft reposes on white rose thus despised, blush of damask cheek. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Description of a City Shower by Jonathan Swift. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Copeland. Careful observers may foretell the hour by sure prognostics when to dread a shower. While rain depends, the pensive cat gives o'er her frolics and pursues her tail no more. Returning home at night, you'll find the sink strike your offended sense with double stink. If you be wise, then go not far to dine, you'll spend in coach hire more than save in wine. A coming shower your shooting corns presage, old H's throb, your hollow tooth will rage. Sauntering in coffee-house is Dulman seen, he damns the climate and complains of spleen. Meanwhile, the south, rising with dabbled wings, a sable cloud athwart the welkin flings, that swilled more liquor than it could contain, and like a drunkard gives it up again. Brisk Susan whips her linen from the rope, while the first drizzling shower is borne aslope. Such is that sprinkling which some careless queen flirts on you from her mop, but not so clean. You fly, invoke the gods, then turning, stop to rail. She, singing, still whirls on her mop. Not yet the dust had shunned the unequal strife, but, aided by the wind, fought still for life, and wafted with its foe by violent gust, 'twas doubtful which was rain and which was dust. Ah, where must needy poet seek for aid, when dust and rain at once his coat invade? Soul coat, where dust, cemented by the rain, erects the nap, and leaves a cloudy stain. Now in contiguous drops the flood comes down, threatening with deluge this devoted town. To shops in crowds the daggled females fly, pretend to cheapen goods, but nothing buy. The Templar spruce, while every spouts a brooch, stays till 'tis fair, yet seems to call a coach. The tucked-up sempstress walks with hasty strides, while streams run down her oiled umbrella sides. Here various kinds, by various fortunes led, commence acquaintance underneath a shed. Triumphant Tories and desponding Whigs forget their feuds, and join to save their wigs. Boxed in a chair, the beau impatient sits, while spouts run clattering o' the roof by fits, and ever and anon, with frightful din, the leather sounds. He trembles from within. So, when Troy chairmen bore the wooden steed pregnant with Greeks, impatient to be freed, those bully Greeks who, as the moderns do, instead of paying chairmen, ran them through, Laocoon struck the outside with his spear, and each imprisoned hero quaked for fear. Now from all parts the swelling kennels flow, and bear their trophies with them as they go. Filth of all hues and odours seem to tell what street they sailed from, by their sight and smell. They, as each torrent drives with rapid force, from Smithfield or St. Pulchre's shape their course, and in huge confluence joined at Snow Hill Ridge, fall from the conduit prone to Holborn Bridge. Sweeping from butchers' stalls, dung, guts, and blood, drowned puppies, stinking sprats, all drenched in mud, dead cats and turnip tops come tumbling down the flood. End of poem. This poem is in the public domain.
C.L.M. by John Masefield. Read for LibriVox.org by Kevin S. C.L.M. In the dark womb where I began, my mother's life made me a man. Through all the months of human birth, her beauty fed my common earth. I cannot see nor breathe nor stir, but through the death of some of her, down in the darkness of the grave, she cannot see the life she gave. For all her love, she cannot tell whether I use it ill or well, nor knock at dusty doors to find her beauty dusty in the mind. If the grave's gates could be undone, she would not know her little son. I'm so grown. If we should meet, she would pass me by in the street, unless my soul's face let her see my sense of what she did for me. What have I done to keep in mind my debt to her and womankind? What woman's happier life repays her for those months of wretched days? For all my mouthless body leached, ere birth's releasing hell was reached. What have I done or tried or said in thanks to that dear woman dead? Men triumph over women still, Men trample women's rights at will, and man's lust roves the world untamed. O grave, keep shut lest I be shamed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Coolun by James Stephens. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Come with me under my coat, and we will drink our fill of the milk of the white goat, or wine, if it be thy will. And we will talk till talk is a trouble too, out on the side of the hill. And nothing is left to do but an eye to look into an eye, and a hand to slip, and a sigh to answer a sigh, and a lip to find out a lip. What if the night be black, and the air on the mountain chill, where the goat lies down in her track, and all but the fern is still? Stay with me under my coat, and we will drink our fill of the milk of the white goat, out on the side of the hill. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Darest Thou Now, O Soul, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Darest thou now, O soul, walk out with me toward the unknown region, where neither ground is for the feet nor any path to follow? No map there, nor guide, nor voice sounding, nor touch of human hand, nor face with blooming flesh, nor lips, nor eyes are in that land. I know it not, O soul, nor dost thou. All is a blank before us, all waits undreamed of in that region, that inaccessible land. Till when the ties loosen, all but the ties eternal, time and space, nor darkness, gravitation, sense, nor any bounds bound us, then we burst forth. We float in time and space, O soul, prepared for them, equal, equipped at last, O joy, O fruit of all, them to fulfill, O soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Paul Laurence Dunbar by James D. Carruthers. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. He came, a youth singing in the dawn of a new freedom, glowing o'er his lyre, refining as with great Apollo's fire his people's gift of song. And thereupon this negro singer came to Helicon, constrained the masters, listening to admire, and roused a race to wonder and aspire. Gazing which way their honest voice was gone, with ebon face uplit of glory's crest, men marveled at the singer, strong and sweet, who brought the cabin's mirth, the tuneful night, but faced the morning, beautiful with light, to die while shadows yet fell toward the west, and leave his laurels at his people's feet. Dunbar, no poet wears your laurels now, none rises singing from your race like you. Dark melodist, immortal, though the dew fell early on the bays upon your brow, and tinged with pathos every halcyon vow and brave endeavor. Silence o'er you threw flowerets of love. Or if an envious few of your own people brought no garlands, how could malice smite him whom the gods had crowned? If, like the meadow lark, your flight was low, your flooded lyrics half the hilltops drowned, a wide world heard you, and it loved you so, it stilled its heart to list the strains you sang, and o'er your happy songs its plaudits rang. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Earthly Paradise by Flora Thompson. Read for LibriVox.com by Zana. I desire no heaven of gold harps, give me the harps of earth, pine trees with red gold on their stems, the music of the west wind in their branches. When I am old, give me for heaven a little house set on a heath, the blue hills behind, the blue sea before, the brick floors scoured crimson, the flagstones like snow, the brass taps and candlesticks like gold. And there, in my soft gray gown between the hollyhocks, upon a day of days I would welcome an old poet, and pour him tea, and walk on the heath, and talk the sundown. And then, by the wood fire, he should read me the poems of his passionate youth, and make new ones praising friendship above love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ebb-Tide by Susan Coolidge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Long reaches of wet grasses sway, where ran the sea but yesterday, and white-winged boats at sunset drew to anchor in the crimsoning blue. The boats lie on the grassy plain, nor tug nor fret at anchor chain. Their errand done, their impulse spent, chained by an alien element. With sails unset they idly lie, though morning beckons, brave and nigh. Like wounded birds their flight denied, they lie and long and wait the tide. About their keels, within the net of tough grass fibers, green and wet, a myriad thirsty creatures pent in sorrowful imprisonment, await the beat, distinct and sweet, of the white waves' returning feet. My soul their vigil joins, and shares a nobler discontent than theirs. Athirst like them, I patiently sit listening beside the sea, and still the waters outward glide. When is the turning of the tide? Come, pulse of God, come, heavenly thrill, we wait thy coming, and we will. The world is vast and very far, its utmost verge and boundaries are. But thou hast kept thy word today, in India and in dim Cathay, and the same mighty care shall reach each humblest rock-pool of this beach. The gasping fish, the stranded keel, this dull dry soul of mine shall feel thy freshening touch, and satisfied shall drink the fullness of the tide. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Expulsion from Spain, 1492, by Ludwig A. Frankl, 1810 to 1894. Read for LibriVox.org. Look, they move! No comrades near but curses. Tears gleam in beards of men sore with reverses. Flowers from fields abandoned, loving nurses, fondly deck the women's raven hair. Faded, scentless flowers that shall remind them of their precious homes and graves behind them. Old men clasping Torah scrolls unbind them, lift the parchment flags and silent lead. Mock not with thy light, O sun our morrow. Cease not, O ye songs of sorrow. For what land a refuge can we borrow? Weary, thrust out, God-forsaken we. Could ye, suffering souls, peer through the future, from despair ye would awake to rapture. Lo! the Genoese boldly steers to capture Freedom's realm beyond an unsailed sea. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Farewell by Susan Coolidge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Go, sun, since go you must. The dusky evening lowers above our sky which was so blue and sweetly fair. Night is not terrible that we should sigh. A little darkness we can surely bear. Will there not be more sunshine by and by? Go, rose, since go you must. Flowerless and chill, the winter draweth nigh. Closed are the blithe and fragrant lips which made, all summer long, perpetual melody. Cheerless we take our way, but not afraid. Will there not be more roses by and by? Go, love, since go you must. Out of our pain we bless you as you fly. The momentary heaven, the rainbow lit, was worth whole days of black and stormy sky. Shall we not see, as by the waves we sit, your bright sail winging shoreward by and by? Go, life, since go you must. Uncertain guest and whimsical ally, all questionless you came, unquestioned go. What does it mean to live, or what to die? Smiling we watch you vanish, for we know somewhere is nobler living by and by.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
God Save the Flag by Oliver Wendell Holmes. Read for LibriVox.org by Daniel N. Hixson. Washed in the blood of the brave and the blooming, snatched from the altars of insolent foes, burning with star fires but never consuming, flash its broad ribbons of lily and rose. Vainly the prophets of Baal would rend it, vainly his worshippers pray for its fall. Thousands have died for it, millions defend it, emblem of justice and mercy to all. Justice that reddens the sky with her terrors, mercy that comes with her white-handed train, soothing all passions, redeeming all errors, sheathing the saber and breaking the chain. Born on the deluge of all usurpations, drifted our ark o'er the desolate seas, bearing the rainbow of hope to the nations, torn from the storm cloud and flung to the breeze. God bless the flag and its loyal defenders, while its broad folds o'er the battlefield wave, till the dim star wreath rekindle its splendors, washed from its stains in the blood of the brave. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
God's Grandeur by Gerard Manley Hopkins. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. The world is charged with the grandeur of God. It will flame out like shining from shook foil. It gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil crushed. Why do men then not wreck his rod? Generations have trod, have trod, have trod. And all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared with toil, and wears man's smudge and shares man's smell. The soil is bare now, nor can foot feel, being shod. And for all this, nature is never spent. There lives the dearest freshness deep down things. And through the last lights, off the black west, went, O morning, at the brown brink eastward, springs. Because the Holy Ghost over the bent world broods with warm breast, and with, bright wings. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Feet of Judas by George Mary McClellan.
read4LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Christ washed the feet of Judas. The dark and evil passions of his soul, his secret plot, the sordidness complete, his hate, his purposing, Christ knew the whole, and still in love he stooped and washed his feet. Christ washed the feet of Judas, yet all his lurking sin was bare to him, his bargain with the priest, and more than this, in Olivet beneath the moonlight dim, aforehand knew and felt his treacherous kiss. Christ washed the feet of Judas, and so ineffable his love 'twas meet that pity fill his great forgiving heart, and tenderly to wash the traitor's feet, who in his Lord had basely sold his part. Christ washed the feet of Judas, and thus a girded servant, self-abased, taught that no wrong this side of the gate of heaven was ever too great to wholly be effaced, and though unasked, the Spirit be forgiven. And so if we have ever felt the wrong of trampled rights, of caste, it matters not. Whate'er the soul has felt or suffered long, O heart, this one thing should not be forgot: Christ washed the feet of Judas. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Lawyer's Ways by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Read for LibriVox.org by Mary Patterson. I've been listening to them lawyers in the courthouse up the street, and I come to the conclusion that I'm most completely beat. First one fella rise to argue, and he boldly waded in as he dressed the trembling prisoner in a coat o' deep-dyed sin. Why, he painted him all over in a hue o' black as crime, and he smeared his reputation with the thickest kind of grime, till I found myself a-wondering, in a misty way and dim, how the Lord had come to fashion such an awful man as him. Then the other lawyer started, and with brimming tearful eyes, said his client was a martyr that was brought to sacrifice, and he give to that same prisoner every blessed human grace, till I saw the light of virtue fairly shining from his face. Then I own that I was puzzled how such things could rightly be, and this aggravating question seems to keep a-puzzling me. So, will someone please inform me, and this mystery unroll, how an angel and a devil can possess the selfsame soul? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
On a Lock of My Mother's Hair by Anacora Mawat. Read for LibriVox.org by K. Taylor 07. February 6th, 2020. www.tla.wapshotpress.org. Whose the eyes thou erst did shade? Down what bosom hast thou rolled? O'er what cheek unchidden played tress of mingled brown and gold? Round what brow, say, didst thou twine? Angel mother, it was thine. Cold the brow that wore this braid, pale the cheek this bright lock pressed, dim the eye it loved to shade, still the ever gentle breast. All that bosom struggle past, when it held this ringlet last. In that happy home above, where all perfect joy hath birth, thou dispensest good and love, mother, as thou did on earth. And though distant seems that sphere, still I feel thee ever near. Though my longing eye now views thy angelic mien no more, still thy spirit can infuse good in mine, unknown before, still the voice from childhood dear steals upon my raptured ear, chiding every wayward deed, fondly praising every just, whispering soft when strength I need, loved one, place in God thy trust. Oh, 'tis more than joy to feel thou art watching o'er my wheel. End of poem. This reading is in the public domain.
The Lotus-Flower by Roderick Quinn, read for LibriVox.org by Newgatenovelist. All the heights of the high shores gleam red and gold at the sunset hour. There comes the spell of a magic dream, and the harbour seems a lotus-flower. A blue flower tinted at dawn with gold, a broad flower blazing with light at noon, a flower forever with charms to hold his heart who sees it by sun or moon. Its beauty burns like a ceaseless fire, and tower looks over the top of tower. For all mute things, it would seem, aspire to catch a glimpse of the lotus-flower. Men meet its beauty with furrowed face, and straight the furrows are smoothed away. They buy and sell in the market-place, and languor leadens their blood all day. At night they look on the flower, and lo, the city passes with all its cares. They dream no more in its azure glow of gold and silver and stocks and shares. The lotus dreams 'neath the dreaming skies, its beauty touching with spell divine the grey old town, till the old town lies like one half drunk with magic wine. Star-loved, it breathes at the midnight hour a sense of peace from its velvet mouth. Though flowers be fair, is there any flower like this blue flower of the radiant south? Sun-loved and lit by the moon, it yields a challenge glory or glow serene, and men bethink them of jewelled shields, a turquoise lighting a ground of green. Fond lovers pacing beside it see not death and darkness, but life and light, and dream no dream of the witchery the lotus sheds on the silent night. Pale watchers weary of watching stars that fall and fall and forever fall, tear-worn and troubled with many scars, they seek the lotus and end life's thrall. The spirit spelled by the lotus swoons, its beauty summons the artist mood, and thus, perchance, in 1,000 moons, its spell shall work in our waiting blood. Then souls shall shine with an old-time grace, and sense be wrapped in a golden trance, and art be crowned in the market-place, with love and beauty and fair romance. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Medusa by Robert Kelly Weeks, read for LibriVox.org by Anita Sloma-Martinez. One calm and cloudless winter night, under a moonless sky, whence I had seen the gracious light of sunset fade and die, I stood alone a little space, where tree nor building bars its outlook in a desert place, the best to see the stars. No sound was in the frosty air, no light below the skies. I looked above, and unaware looked in Medusa's eyes. the eyes that neither laugh nor weep, that neither hope nor fear, that neither watch nor dream nor sleep, nor sympathize nor sneer, the eyes that nor reject nor choose, nor question nor reply, that neither pardon nor accuse, that yield not nor defy, the eyes that hide not nor reveal, that trust not nor betray, that acquiesce not nor appeal, the eyes that never pray. O love that will not be forgot, O love that leaves alone, O love that blinds and blesses not, O love that turns to stone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Montparnasse by Ernest Hemingway. Read for LibriVox.org by Dale Grothman. There are never any suicides in the quarter among people one knows. No successful suicides. A Chinese boy kills himself and is dead. They continue to place his mail in the letter rack at the Dome. A Norwegian boy kills himself and is dead. No one knows where the other Norwegian boy has gone. They find a model dead, alone in bed, and very dead. It made almost unbearable trouble for the concierge. Sweet oil, the white of eggs, mustard and water, soap suds, and stomach pumps rescue the people one knows. Every afternoon, the people one knows can be found at the cafe. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Negro's Complaint by William Cooper, 1731 to 1800. Read for LibriVox.org. The Negro's Complaint. Forced from home and all its pleasures, Afric's coast I left forlorn, to increase a stranger's treasures, o'er the raging billows borne. Men from England bought and sold me, paid my price in paltry gold. But though slave they have enrolled me, mines are never to be sold. Still in thought as free as ever, what are England's rights, I ask, me from my delights to sever, me to torture, me to task? Fleecy locks and black complexion cannot forfeit nature's claim. Skins may differ, but affection dwells in white and black the same. Why did all creating nature make the plant for which we toil? Sighs must fan it, tears must water, sweat of ours must dress the soil. Think, ye masters iron-hearted, lolling at your jovial boards, think how many backs have smarted for the sweets your cane affords. Is there, as ye sometimes tell us, is there one who reigns on high? Has he bid you buy and sell us, speaking from his throne the sky? Ask him, if your knotted scourges, matches, blood-extorting screws, are the means that duty urges agents of his will to use. Hark! He answers, wild tornadoes, strewing yonder sea with wrecks, wasting towns, plantations, meadows, are the voice with which he speaks. He, foreseeing what vexations Afric's sons should undergo, fixed their tyrants' habitations where his whirlwinds answer, No! By our blood in Afric wasted, ere our necks received the chain, by the miseries that we tasted, crossing in your barks the main, by our suffering since you brought us to the man-degrading mart, all sustained by patience, taught us only by a broken heart. Deem our nation brutes no longer, till some reason ye shall find worthier of regard and stronger than the color of our kind. Slaves of gold, whose sordid dealings tarnish all your boasted powers, prove that you have human feelings ere you proudly question ours. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The New Bard's Legacy by James Henry. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The New Bard's Legacy. When in death I shall calm recline, oh, bear my watch to my mistress dear. Tell her I rose when it pointed 9 on every morning all round the year. Bid her not shed one tear of sorrow to sully a gem so precious and bright, but a pocket of crimson velvet borrow, and hang it beside her bed every night. When the light of mine eyes is o'er, take my specs to optician's hall, and let the porter that answers the door show them to all that happen to call. Then, if some bard, who roams forsaken, should beg a peep through them in passing along, oh, let one thought of their master awaken your warmest smile for the child of song. Keep this ink bottle, now overflowing, to write your letters when I'm laid low, never, oh, never one drop bestowing on any who how to write don't know. But if some pale, wan wasted scholar shall dip his goose quill at its brim, then my spirit around shall hover, and hallow each jet black drop for him. Karlsruhe, January 9th, 1856. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The New Negro by Will Sexton. Read for LibriVox.org by Mike Overby, Midland, Washington. Out of the mist I see a new America, a land of ideals. I hear the music of my fathers blended with the stars and stripes forever. I am the crown of thorns tyranny must bear 1,000 years. I am the new Negro. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Oh, Wear For Me No Sable Hue by Anna Cora Mawet. Read for LibriVox.org by K. Taylor 07, February 5th, 2020, www.tla.wapshotpress.org. Oh, wear for me no sable hue, no garb of blazoned grief, when I shall bid this gladsome earth adieu, and fling my spirit's garment by. Nor mark the spot with urn or stone, where worthless dust unconscious lies. Within your loving hearts alone the monument I ask should rise. And shed for me no bitter tear, nor breathe my name in mournful tone. Your smiles 'twas mine to waken here, and I should think them still mine own. Nor link my image with regret, a pleasant memory I would be, to consecrate and brighten yet the scenes that once were dear to me. Ah, why should tears bedew the sod where some beloved one's ashes rest? The soul rejoiceth near its God, and can you mourn the spirit blest? Then weep not for the loved one fled to realms more pure, a home more fair, and call not the departed dead. She lives, she loves, she waits you there. End of poem. This reading is in the public domain.
Oklahoma by Ernest Hemingway. Read for LibriVox.org by Dale Grothman. All the Indians are dead. A good Indian is a dead Indian. Or riding in motor cars. The oil lands, you know, they're all rich. Smoke smarts my eyes. Cottonwood twigs and buffalo dung. Smoke gray in the teepee. Or is it myopic trachoma? The prairies are long. The moon rises. Ponies drag at their pickets. The grass is gone brown in the summer. Or is it the hay crop failing? Pull an arrow out. If you break it, the wound closes. Salt is good too, and wood ashes. Pounding it throbs in the night. Or is it the gonorrhea? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Optimist by J. W. Hammond. Read for LibriVox.org by Mike Overby, Midland, Washington. Who would have the sky any color but blue, or the grass any color but green, or the flowers that bloom the summer through of any other color or sheen? How the sunshine gladdens the human heart, how the sound of the falling rain will cause the tender tears to start and free the soul from pain. Oh, this old world is a great old place, and I love each season's change, the river, the brook of purling grace, the valley, the mountain range. And when I am called to quit this life, my feet will not spurn the sod. Though I leave this world with its beauty rife, there's a glorious one with God. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Ruined Chapel, from 16 Poems by William Allingham. Read for LibriVox.org by Dale Grothman. By the shore a plot of ground clips a ruined chapel round, buttressed with a grassy mound, where day and night and day go by, and bring no touch of human sound. Washing of the lonely seas, shaking of the guardian trees, piping of the salted breeze, day and night and day go by, to the endless tune of these. Or when, as winds and water keep a hush more dead than any sleep, still mourns the stiller evenings creep, and day and night and day go by, here the silence is most deep. The empty ruins, lapped again into nature's wide domain, sow themselves with seed and grain, as day and night and day go by, and hoard June's sun and April's rain. Here fresh funeral tears were shed, now the graves are also dead, and suckers from the ash tree spread, while day and night and day go by, and stars move calmly overhead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Seasons by Richard Chenevix Trench. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Seasons. 1. Winter. White ermine now the mountains wear, to shield their naked shoulders bare. The dark pine wears the snow, as head of Ethiop doth white turban wear. The floods are armed with silver shields, through which the sun's sword cannot fare. For he who in the mid-heaven rode, in golden arms, on golden chair, now through small corner of the sky creeps low, nor warms the foggy air. To mutter twixt their teeth the streams, in icy fetters, scarcely dare. Hushed is the busy hum of life, 'tis silence in the earth and air. From mountain issues the gaunt wolf, and from its forest depth the bare. Where is the garden's beauty now? The thorn is here, the rose, oh where? The trees like giant skeletons wave high their fleshless arms and bare, or stand like wrestlers stripped and bold, and strongest winds to battle dare. It seems a thing impossible that earth its glories should repair, that ever this bleak world again should bright and beauteous mantle wear, or sounds of life again be heard in this dull earth and vacant air. 2. Spring. Who was it that so lately said all pulses in thy heart were dead, old earth, that now in festal robes appearest as a bride new wed? O, wrapped so late in winding sheet, thy winding sheet, oh, where is fled? Lo, 'tis an emerald carpet now, where the young monarch Spring may tread. He comes, and the defeated king, old Winter, to the hills is fled. The warm wind broke his frosty spear, and loosed the helmet from his head. And he weak showers of arrowy sleet for his strongholds has vainly sped. All that was sleeping is awake, and all is living that was dead. Who listens now can hear the streams leap tinkling down their pebbly bed, or see them from their fetters free, like silver snakes the meadows thread. The joy, the life, the hope of earth, they slept awhile, they were not dead. O thou who say'st thy sear heart never with verdure can again be spread, O thou who mournest them that sleep, low lying in an earthy bed, look out on this reviving world, and be new hopes within thee bred. 3. Summer. Now seems all nature to conspire as to dissolve the world in fire, which dies among its odorous sweets, a phoenix on its funeral pyre. Simoom breathes hotly from the waste, the green earth quits its green attire, floats over the plain the liquid heat, cheating the traveller's fond desire. Illusion fair of lake and stream, receding as he draweth nigher. Ice is more precious now than gold, snow more than silver men desire. 'Tis far to seek unfailing wells for tender maid or aged sire. Men know the worth of water now, and learn to prize God's blessing higher. The shallow pools have disappeared, caked into iron is the mire. Through clouds of dust the crimson sun glares on the earth in lurid ire. The parched earth with thirsty lips is gasping, ready to expire. O happy who by liquid streams in shady gardens can retire, where murmuring falls and whispering trees sweet slumber to invite conspire, or where he may deceive the time with volume sage or pensive lyre. 4. Autumn. Thine, Autumn, is unwelcome lore to tell the world its pomp is o'er, to whisper in the rose's ear that all her beauty is no more, and bid her own the faith how vain which Spring to her so lately swore. A queen deposed, she quits her state, the nightingales her fall deplore, the 100-voiced bird may woo the 1,000-leaved flower no more. The jasmine sinks its head in shame, the sharp east wind its tresses shore, and robbed, in passing cruelly, the tulip of the crown it wore. The lily's sword is broken now, that was so bright and keen before, and not a blast can blow but strews with leaf of gold the earth's dank floor. The piping winds sing nature's dirge, as through the forest bleak they roar, whose leafy screen, like locks of eld, each day shows scantier than before. Thou fadest as a flower, O man, of food for musing here is store. O man, thou fallest as a leaf, pace thoughtfully earth's leaf-strewn floor. Welcome the sadness of the time, and lay to heart this natural lore. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Single Stitch by Susan Coolidge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. One stitch dropped as the weaver drove his nimble shuttle to and fro, in and out, beneath, above, till the pattern seemed to bud and grow, as if the fairies had helping been. One small stitch which could scarce be seen. But the one stitch dropped pulled the next stitch out, and a weak place grew in the fabric stout, and the perfect pattern was marred for aye by the one small stitch that was dropped that day. One small life in God's great plan, how futile it seems as the ages roll. Do what it may, or strive how it can, to alter the sweep of the infinite whole. A single stitch in an endless web, a drop in the ocean's flow and ebb. But the pattern is rent where the stitch is lost, or marred where the tangled threads have crossed, and each life that fails of its true intent mars the perfect plan that its master meant.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Snowstorm by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Read for LibriVox.org by Todd Marchand. Announced by all the trumpets of the sky arrives the snow, and driving o'er the field seems nowhere to alight. The whited air hides hills and woods, the river and the heaven, and veils the farmhouse at the garden's end. The sled and traveler stopped, the courier's feet delayed, all friends shut out, the housemates sit around the radiant fireplace, enclosed in a tumultuous privacy of storm. Come see the north wind's masonry. Out of an unseen quarry evermore furnished with tile, the fierce artificer curves his white bastions with projected roof round every windward stake or tree or door. Speeding the myriad-handed, his wild work so fanciful, so savage, naught cares he for number or proportion. Mockingly, on coop or kennel he hangs Parian wreaths, a swan-like form invests the hidden thorn, fills up the farmer's lane from wall to wall, maugre the farmer's sighs, and at the gate a tapering turret overtops the work. And when his hours are numbered, and the world is all his own, retiring as he were not, leaves when the sun appears astonished art to mimic in slow structures stone by stone, built in an age, the mad wind's night work, the frolic architecture of the snow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Some Woman to Some Man by Edith Wharton. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. We might have loved each other after all, have lived and learned together, yet I doubt it. You ask, I think, too great a sacrifice, or else, perhaps, I rate myself too dear. Whichever way the difference lies between us, would common cares have helped to lessen it? A common interest, a common lot? Who knows indeed? We choose our path, and then stand looking back and sighing at our choice, and say, perhaps the other road had led to fruitful valleys dozing in the sun. Perhaps, perhaps, but all things are perhaps, and either way there lies a doubt, you know. We've but one life to live, and 50 ways to live it in, and little time to choose the 1 in 50 that will suit us best. And so the end is, that we part, and say, we might have loved each other after all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Song from the East by Anne Reeve Aldrich. Read for LibriVox.org by Colleen McMahon. O western land, O glorious sunset land, my feet have never trod thy wondrous ways. Mine eyes have never rested on thy plains, or mountains clad in purple haze. And yet I feel beyond the power of speech an alien from my spirit's proper home. A thankless daughter of the fostering East, I turn from her with sick desire to roam until I find the land for which I yearn. As homesick child might pine for mother's breast, the East must keep my body, but my soul longs for the broader regions of the West. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Song of Keats by Roderick Quinn. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgatenovelist. 'Tis a tarnished book and old, edges frayed and covers green, but between the covers, gold, gold and jewels in between. And this written, see, oh see, how old time has made it dim. For one song Keats gave to me, I kneel down and worship him. He who wrote these lines is dust, all of him is passed away. Some hand closed his eyes, I trust, drew the blind to darken day. Did lips kiss him at the end, love lips, tremulous, yet brave? Had he mistress, child, or friend to sow green grass upon his grave? Nay, we know not. It is long since he tired of life's deceits, closed his ears to sigh and song, parted with this book, John Keats. Year by year the poet thrives, summer smiles, and winter weeps. La belle dame sans merci lives, but a heart that loved her sleeps. Who would woeful go to miss roses red in thorns arrayed, when he might with surer bliss love a milk-white Devon maid? Beauty kindles man's desire, beauty dwindles, growing faint. But the girls who never tire are the girls that poets paint. When the moon has taken wings and the twilight hour is come, grey the woods and no bird sings. Grey the world beyond and dumb. Neither light is there nor breeze, rose to redden, thorn to pain, till look, look! Among the trees a sudden bird, a scarlet stain. So he tired of fate's defeats, life's dead trees and woodlands grim, till sudden sweet a song of Keats one magic moment gave to him. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Spring by Cora C. Bass. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Peter. Wooed by thy balmy breath, O witching spring, the woodland nymphs are charming us anew, and yon blue dome acquires a richer hue. Waked from its winter sleep on gauzy wing, the butterfly flits past, no more to cling, a slave forlorn to some enamoured branch. How joyfully the laughing lilies launch their dainty barks! They safe at anchor swing in many a sylvan nook. Swift and free the swallow skims athwart the river's breast, a burnished emblem of the glancing sea, which ever glimmers in a vague unrest. An image beautiful, content to be by minds diverse, in divers colors dressed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Spring and All, By the Road to the Contagious Hospital, by William Carlos Williams. Read for LibriVox.org, by Winston, Tharp. By the road to the contagious hospital, under the surge of the blue mottled clouds driven from the northeast, a cold wind. Beyond, the waste of broad muddy fields, brown with dried weeds, standing and fallen patches of standing water, the scattering of tall trees. All along the road, the reddish, purplish, forked, upstanding, twiggy stuff of bushes and small trees with dead brown leaves, under them leafless vines. Lifeless in appearance, sluggish, dazed spring approaches. They enter the new world naked, cold, uncertain of all save that they enter. All about them the cold, familiar wind. Now the grass, tomorrow the stiff curl of wild carrot leaf. One by one objects are defined. It quickens, clarity, outline of leaf. But now the stark dignity of entrance. Still the profound change has come upon them. Rooted, they grip down and begin to awaken. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Stars in the Sea by Roderick Quinn. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgatenovelist. I took a boat on a starry night and went for a row on the water, and she danced like a child on a wake of light and bowed where the ripples caught her. I vowed, as I rode on the velvet blue through the night and the starry splendor, to woo and sue a maiden I knew till she bent to my pleadings tender. My painted boat, she was light and gladder my heart with wishing. And I came in time to a little lad who stood on the rocks a-fishing. I said, "Ahoy!" and he said, "Ahoy!" and I asked how the fish were biting. "And what are you trying to catch, my boy? Bream, silver and red, or whiting?" "Neither," he answered, "the seaweed mars my line, and the sharp shells sunder. I am trying my luck with those great big stars down there in the round skies under." Goodbye from him, and goodbye from me, and never a laugh came after. So many go fishing for stars in the sea that it's hardly a subject for laughter. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
St. Valentine's Day by Edward Abram Uffington Valentine. Read for LibriVox.org by Anita Sloma-Martinez. At morn unto my window sill Dan Cupid comes to learn my will. "Friend," cries my little winged guest, "hast thou for me no amorous quest? Is there no maid to whom thou'dst say, I love thee, on this festal day?" "Cupid," I answer, "there's a maid of whom my coward heart's afraid. Not bold am I for lovers' bliss. I'll send thee, rogue, to steal my kiss, and bear with thee this scarlet rose as token how my bosom glows." Then Cupid thus, "Ho, that will I, and hid therein I'll play the spy. And when the rose hath caught her sight, she'll kiss it sure for pure delight. Then shall I pierce her with my dart. A bee she'll think is at its heart. The while she standeth startled there, I shall have vanished in the air. But her sweet presence hovering near, thy name I'll whisper in her ear. And of the mystery naught she'll make, she'll think it was her heart that spake." End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sunday Afternoon by Osbert Stillwell. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The gilt-fringed earth has sadly spun a sector of its lucent arc about the disillusioned sun of autumn. The bright, angry spark of heaven in each upturned eye denotes religious ecstasy. We, too, have spun our Sunday round of church and beef and after-sleep in houses where obtrudes no sound, but breathing, regular and deep, till Sabbath sentiment well fed demands a visit to the dead. For autumn leaves and sad thoughts beget, as from life's tree they clatter down, and death has caught some in her net even on Sunday in this town. Though money and food and sleep are sweet, the dead leaves rattle down the street. Fat bodies, silken meshed, inflate their way along. If death comes soon, they'll leave this food-sweet earth to float heavenward like some huge balloon. Religion dims each vacant eye as we approach the cemetery. Proudly we walk, with care we bend to lead our children by the hand. Here, where all rich and poor must end, the portal to a better land, to which, if good business, we have hereditary access. Where to afford the saints relief from prayer and from religious questions, round after round of deathless beef flatters celestial digestions. Where, in white robe with golden crown, we watch our enemy sent down to other spheres, while we lean out, divinest pity in our eyes, and wonder why these sinners flout our kindly pitying surprise. Why look so angry when we play our gold harps as they go away, a hymn tune, dear familiar? But now we stand within the space where marble females drape a tear above a whiskered marble face. Isn't it pretty? Even now rich and exotic blossoms grow about each granite monument of men frock-hooded, unaware of judgment. What emolument requites a weeping willow's care? Look, over there a broken column is watched by one geranium, whose scorching scarlet tones uphold damnation and eternal fire to those who will not reckon gold, who are not worthy of their hire. For marble tombs are prized above such brittle things as thought or love. The crystal web of dusk now clings from evergreen to tropic tree, tossed by the wind, and subtly brings a mingled scent of mold and tea, that causes silence to be rent by one scream, childish but intent. For children will not realize that they should rest without a sound, with folded hands and downcast eyes here in the saints' recruiting ground. And so in sorrow we turn back to hasten on our high tea track. But after, in the night, we dream of heaven as a marbled bank, in which, in one continual stream, we give our gold for heavenly rank, where each saint, standing like a sentry, explains a mystic double entry. The director of the bank is God, stares our foes coldly in the face, but gives us quite a friendly nod, and beckons us to share his place. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
This is My Letter to the World, read for LibriVox.org by Mike Ferry 252. This is my letter to the world, that never wrote to me the simple news that nature told with tender majesty. Her message is committed to hands I cannot see. For love of her, sweet countrymen judge tenderly of me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Three Prayers by Dwight Munson Hodge, 1846 to 1906. Read for LibriVox.org. Three Prayers. 3 camels o'er hot desert sands bore travelers from diverse lands. When far domes gleamed in hazy air, one said, "It is a time for prayer." Alighting in his camel's shade, each bowed him to the earth and prayed, and each one named his heart's desire, that flamed from out the inward fire. The first one prayed, "My purpose bless, give this world's honors its success, prolong my days, as I grow old increase my friends, my lands, my gold." The second one said, "Forgive my sins, permit me heaven at last to win. When yawns the grave my soul should rise, to walk with thee in paradise." The last one prayed, "O heart above, whose ways are hid, but hid in love, give me through pain and loss and strife to enter deeper into life." End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To Isabel M. by Anna Koromowit. Read for LibriVox.org by K. Taylor S7, February 6, 2020. www.tla.wapshotpress.org. Forever vanished from thy cheek is life's unfolding rose. Forever quenched the flashing smile that conscious beauty knows. Thine orbs are lustrous with a light which ne'er illumes the eye, till heaven is bursting on the sight, and earth is fleeting by. The bridal chaplet scarce hath paled upon thy lovely brow, and scarce thy gentle lips have breathed the holy nuptial vow. But taintless as thy bridal flowers, thou witherest as they fade, and soon we may not hear the tone that hath such music made. But oblivion shrouds thee not, for thy melodious name a sacred sound shall be, a word our lips delight to frame. While memory lives, thou livest to us, and oft before our eyes, for vision like will thy dear form, thy cherished features rise. And that loved hand may icy grow, yet musing shall I feel its tender pressure, while as now it seems in mine to steal, and often shall I think thee near, a spirit sent to fill with visions of a brighter world the minds that love thee still. And if perchance some tears will flow, believe me, they will be for aching hearts thou leavest void, not happy one for thee. Nor would I by a wish recall the angel from its sphere, where endless joy and changeless love atone for sufferings here. End of poem. This reading is in the public domain.
We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar, read for LibriVox.org by Mary Patterson. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouths with myriad subtle ties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh, great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.